Hey guys, we are so excited to share with you what we've learned about Egypt and to do some arts and crafts with you. So first, Egypt is officially known as the Republic of Egypt. And in 2012, the population of Egypt was just over 83 million. So what continent is Egypt on, guys?
Let's see.
The continent
Africa.
Of Africa, that's right. So here is a map of Africa, and Egypt is all the way the northern side of it, right? And you can see right there on the map, and I'll show you here. Here's a little bit of a zoom in to northern Africa. There, Egypt is there in the orange. You see things like pyramids and mummies and cotton up there in Egypt. And then one more time on a little bit more of a scientific map over here. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. All the way up here, that's Egypt. Very good on Africa. So the Egyptian flag, Arden and Georgia made an Egyptian flag right before we started. You guys want to show them? Perfect. The Egyptian flag has three colors and gold in the middle. So the top is red, the bottom is black, white in the middle, and the center is a golden eagle. So I'll show you a zoom in of the picture we looked at to create our flag today. So here, the top is Egypt, right here. You see that? So on the flag, the red section represents the sacrifice and blood of the Egyptian martyrs. The white represents peace, the black represents the dark period of occupancy, and the gold eagle in the middle represents strength and power. So the official language of Egypt is Arabic, but other languages such as English and French are also understood by many. The capital city of Egypt is Cairo, which also has the largest population in the country. Egypt is a very dry country. There are two major deserts that take up most of the area of Egypt, called the Sahara and the Libyan Desert. Egypt is famous for its ancient civilization, the ancient Egyptians, who date back to around 3150 BC, which is one of the first, if not the first, civilizations. And a lot of the art that we're going to talk about today comes from ancient Egypt. The civilization of ancient Egypt was located along the Nile in northeast Africa. The Nile was the source of much of the ancient Egypt's wealth. Great Egyptian cities grew up along the Nile as the Egyptian people became experts in irrigation and were able to use the water from the Nile to grow rich and profitable crops. The Nile provided food, soil, water, and transportation for the Egyptians. And great floods would come each year and would provide fertile soil for growing food. So I mentioned we are going to talk a lot about the ancient Egypt as far as the arts. The pharaohs of Egypt were often buried in giant pyramids or in secret tombs. And the Egyptians believed that they needed treasure to be buried with them to help them in the afterlife. So as a result, many archaeologists have a whole lot of well-preserved artifacts from this wonderful ancient civilization and tombs to examine in order to find out how the Egyptians lived. So we actually know a whole lot about them, even though they lived long, long ago. Okay, a couple more fun facts about Egypt. Egyptian men and women wore makeup. It was thought to have healing powers. Plus, it helped protect their skin from the sun because they're in the hot sun all day long. Egyptians also used moldy bread to help with infections. And they were one of the first civilizations to invent writing, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. They also used ink to write and paper called papyrus. The ancient Egyptians were scientists and mathematicians. They had numerous inventions, including ways to build buildings, medicine, cosmetics, the calendar, the plow for farming, musical instruments, and even toothpaste. Did you know that? Toothpaste. So the pharaoh of the Egyptians kept their hair covered because their hair was too precious to be seen by the normal people, too sacred. And the most sacred animal in Egypt, guess what? Guess what animal that is? It's the one you were just talking to me about.
Cat.
The cat. And Georgia told me that she found out in her research that what?
Cats can also be mummies.
So not only do they mummify people to preserve them in the afterlife, but also cats as well because they were so sacred. So I believe Arden has a little bit of information he wants to share from his research.
They take out the brain.
Oh, so so in ancient Egypt, to preserve the bodies in the afterlife, especially those of high authority like the pharaohs. There's a whole process of mummification, and Arden found it interesting that the brain was actually removed and preserved that way. Right?
Like taken out of the head?
That's right. So, okay, we're ready to do some crafts. Okay, so in the packets you have that you picked up at the Creative Arts Guild, or you can go ahead and go online and print out these PDFs for yourself. The first craft we're going to do is our Pharaoh Headdress. So you're going to have 2 pieces of paper, or again, print them from the website. If you picked it up at the Guild, yours is on a little bit of a thicker cardstock, so if you're printing at home and you have the ability to do that, you might want to. Otherwise, plain paper is just fine. So before we do anything else, we're actually going to, you can color with crayons, paint or markers. Those are both Arden's and these are both yours. So we're going to start with a headdress. So many pharaohs wore different headdresses, and it kind of depicted what area you were from based on your headdress. This one is based off of the one of the most famous looks that was King Tut's headdress. So we're going to go ahead and paint ours, and if you want to pause the video and color yours in first, then we'll gather around for the next part. All right, so Georgia's finishing coloring hers, but Arden went ahead and finished coloring his. So for this next part, you will need a pair of scissors, maybe some Scotch tape, glue stick, and I think that's about it. So for the next part, we're just going to cut along the outside right now. There's a little bit of a dotted line right here, so you can cut. There's a spot that says cut across the dotted line. You can cut there, but the rest of it, we're just going to go around the outside edge.
Mom, those are my scissors.
I know, I'm going to let you cut the rest, but I'm just showing how to start. So you're going to go around the outside edge and cut right on that black line, cutting everything else. So I'm going to pass that over to Arden. That part's supposed to be cut, but when you come around, stop right here, okay? So keep going. Here is where you are on the cutting. Cut right on that black line, okay? And Georgia's finishing hers. So if you see, Arden did kind of more of a traditional style. Georgia is definitely doing a style of her own, which is fun. So you can do anything you like.
This is going to be the rainbow queen.
Yeah, Georgia's is the rainbow queen. So again, I'm going to highlight, we love these tempera paint sticks because you're painting with, almost like Arden said, they're like glue sticks, which is really, really great. Thank you. You can use paints at home. That looks great, Arden.
You cut in the middle of it?
Crayons, colored pencils, anything you like.
You cut in the middle of
Yep, you cut each piece apart. So Arden went ahead and cut out the top. I'm going to, again, cut along the dotted line just there, and that just gives us somewhere to tuck those side pieces. So I'm going to let Georgia finish up and let Arden cut, and then we'll come back together for the next piece. So Arden cut his pieces out, and I should mention that at the bottom of the front of the headdress, you have this nice piece of paper that's left. If you could preserve that and go ahead, I'm just going to trim it nicely to make it even first. And then I'm going to cut it right down the middle because we're all going to have different head sizes, and this gives us a little bit of extra if we need it to go around the back side of our head. Okay, Georgia just finished coloring hers, so we're ready to cut hers out. So, but what I didn't say for Arden is if you could preserve this bottom part of your headdress, I'm going to do this line for her before she does the rest. And if you can take this bottom part and cut it in half, this is going to give us some extra paper or cardstock to go around the back side of the head to secure the headdress on so we can wear it. So George is going to go ahead and cut along the outside of the black line, and Arden, we're going to start to piece his together. So let's see. So for Arden, let's take your 2 sides, Arden. So you can either use a glue stick or a piece of tape for this, but right along the dotted line, Arden, can you find the dotted line on your other one? We're going to fold it down just like this on the other side. I have one of your sides and you have the other. And the flat side goes towards the face. So this part where we cut along the dotted line, here, can you fold, see that dotted line? Can you fold it back like this on the dotted line? So you're going to take that piece and wrap right around the back, and we are going to tape it down right there in the back.
Only one or the both?
On just that one side, because I already did this side. Okay, so Georgia is continuing to cut. Arden is ready, so we put the fold through, and we're going to flap it down in the back, and we're going to use a little piece of Scotch tape. You can hear Arden. Yep, you're going to come right here and put a piece of tape. And then this side too. Hi, Asher. This side you're going to slide over here and across. And we're going to get a piece of tape. Arden, you want to do the tape on this side?
Yeah, I do.
All right, here you go. Can you slide it down?
Mom, how do you like me? How do you like my crotch screw?
Perfect. And I'm going to add another piece of tape because it's sliding off.
How do you like me?
Oh, it's looking good. Let's see Arden in the picture. Oh, so Arden, we just have to add the back so it stays on.
Clean cut.
You do. All right, let me see it. Because this part's getting a little loose. So I'm going to add an extra piece of tape on this side. And then that extra piece that we preserved, Arden's going to come over here. I'm going to see how many I need. He has a bigger head. I'm assuming I'm going to need. He has a bigger head than me, it's true. So I'm going to take the two pieces. Oh, good, Georgia. Keep going along that line. And we're going to staple that together. Let's see. Did you guys see the stapler? There it is.
Woohoo!
He's getting excited. Staple that part together, and that gives us plenty of room. Now, Arden, come here for a second. Come stand right here so everyone can see. Can you hold this on your face where you're ready for it to go? Okay. Fantastic. And then I'm going to take the headpiece. Hold on a second. And I'll staple one side here.
What's that one?
This is going to be how you wear it. Yeah, so it stays on.
I'm cute.
And then all the way around, and then I'll just a second, Georgie.
My glory.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Mom, you stapled to my hair.
I did not staple your hair.
No, I didn't. The staple got caught in my hair.
Oh, it did? Okay, so there, Arden's is all done. You want to show them? Very nice. Okay, so we're going to finish up with George's, and we'll come back when we're all ready to move on to the next project.
Bye.
They're done. Don't they look fantastic? So now our headdresses are done, and we're going to make an Egyptian collar to go with it. So in your packet that you picked up at the Guild is a paper plate, and if not, you can grab one from home. I have white because I want to be creative with the color, but whatever color you have actually will work just fine. And we're going to take a little bit of scissors, a pair of scissors, and we're going to just cut around to make what will be
A circle.
well, it's going to cut out a circle so you have an Egyptian collar. So you'll wear it with the rounded side out. So George is showing you how it's going to look, and what we're going to do is decorate them. So we're going to paint them. So Georgia, you can sit down and color it with whatever color you want. Okay, so Georgia is starting on her collar, and I'm going to cut one for Arden. But after she paints it, we're going to use some glue, and then also in your bag, you have little bitty squares of color. And if you didn't pick up it's almost like little confetti. If you didn't pick up a bag, you can use little pieces of all different colors of construction paper. And I'll tell you one of my favorite tips. We do this a lot at home. This one's yours, baby. We do this a lot at home. We'll go to Home Depot and just take a couple of the paint chips, and you can cut those up, and those make perfect pieces. And we're going to make mosaic. Let me cut that for you while you...
What's mosaic?
We're going to make mosaic. Mosaic is an art form that's used of little tiny, often porcelain or ceramic pieces of some kind.
Great, Mom, go to cut.
But we're going to use paper for ours. But the Egyptians had a lot of great mosaic work in a lot of their art.
Let
me see.
Cut.
Okay, so go ahead and decorate. So we're going to decorate our collars. Again, I'll pull you in close so you can see. Georgia is painting hers, and I'm going to get out some glue sticks. Go ahead, Arden.
Like paint them?
I think you should paint the background first so that you have a background color, and then we will add the mosaic work on top. Okay? So if I can keep that so that you guys can see what you're working on. And I'm going to get some glue.
Georgia, with the eyes, it's hard to put on the metallic art with the eyes. They're not eyes. They're just little dots.
So I also grabbed some glitter glue. This would be a fun time to add a little bit of a sparkle.
These are mine, Mom.
That's okay. We're going to share.
I'm going to go get pink.
Okay. Well, here's pink. Georgia, you can use this pink glitter glue. So Arden and Georgia have finished coloring theirs, and they are now adding the mosaic pieces, and they're kind of adding theirs everywhere. For some older kids or kids that may want to try something a little bit different, if you guys look online at all the Egyptian mosaics, traditional mosaic is made up of lots of little tiny pieces making up one big picture. So the patterning and the intricacy of lining up mosaic pieces to create a big picture is quite beautiful, but a little bit more of an advanced piece. So please feel free to look that up and do more on your collars with that if you wish. But Georgia and Arden are finishing theirs up and they look so beautiful. I can't wait to see what they look like with the headdresses on. So in just a minute, we'll come back and share that with you. They're all done. Look what they did. It's so awesome. I can't wait to see yours. So we're going to do one more activity. If you guys can sit down in your seats. Okay, last activity. The last thing you'll find in your packet or either online printing your own PDF is our Hieroglyphic Alphabet here. And like I mentioned, the Egyptians were one of the first civilizations to create written writing, a written way of communication.
Well, how do I look now?
Pretty funny upside down. All right, sit down. Let's do this last part.
So,
but all of their alphabet were pictorial. They were pictures. And some of the letters overlap a little bit. And this one doesn't have it, but they also have letters for like CH together and SH and sounds like that as well. So what we're going to do is each of you has your own scroll, your Egyptian scroll, and we're going to write your name in hieroglyphics. So here's one, and we're going to do the pictures one on top of each other, starting with the top of your name. So Arden's going to do A-R-D-E-N. And Georgia, here's yours. G-E-O-R-G-I-A. They did talk. Yes, they did talk.
They talked, eagle was somebody's name?
No, they didn't say it like that. They had a way of, it was Arabic, but they spoke, well, that's what people speak in Egypt is Arabic, but this is just the written language so that we've been able to decode things that they put inside the walls on tombs or in old, they had rock that they would carve these pictures into to create some messages that way. So let's go ahead. I'm going to let them finish up with this. You guys can do it at home too. And then you also have a message to decode in your bag as well. So let me get them some pencils. Here you go.
I want things colorful.
Well, you're going to start with a pencil and then we can go back in and decorate it because it might take a minute to get these pictures. So here's pencils to start. So we're going to let you guys write your own names and decode your own messages at home. Georgia finished her hieroglyphic. That's Georgia and hieroglyphic. I helped her a little bit. And here's Arden's, A-R-D-E-N, and hieroglyphic. But I think for now, guys, we're going to say goodbye and thank you for joining us. Can we say thank you for joining us in Egypt? Thank you for joining us in Egypt.